Good morning, students. Today we are going to do with the third part of the chapter, the third level. We have already read that how Charlie, the narrator, has a strong belief in the existence of the third level at the Grand Central Station. But his psychiatrist friend, his wife, and other friends believe that he wants to escape from harsh realities. So, his visiting a third level is a sort of a waking dream, wish fulfillment, and in fact, his stamp collection, is also a temporary refuge from reality. But then Charlie tells us about the third level, what he experiences there, and how he wishes to collect tickets for his wife and for him to go to Galesburg, as he finds that Galesburg is peaceful, a place full of peace, serenity, calmness, and away from the repercussions of war, because at that time war was 20 years away and second world war would be 40 years away. So he wants that life of peace and security. So he goes to the ticket counter. Let's continue. The clerk figured the fare. He glanced at my fancy hatband, but he figured the fare. So the clerk at the ticket counter, he calculates the fare, that what it would take to go to Galesburg. And then this clerk notices the hatband of Charlie. He notices the hat that he's wearing, but then he continues with his work. And I had enough for 2 coach tickets one way. So Charlie says that he had enough for one way and 2 tickets he wanted. But when I counted out the money and looked up, the clerk was staring at me. So he takes out the money to give it to the clerk and is counting the money, and he notices that the clerk is staring at him. He nodded at the bills. "That aren't money, mister," he said, "and if you're trying to skin me, you won't get very far." So he notices that the clerk is staring, and then the clerk warns him that the money, the bills in your hand is not the actual money, and if you are trying to cheat me, you are trying to swindle with me, then you won't be able to go far. I'll catch you and put you in jail. And he glanced at the cash drawer beside him, and then Charlie notices that what's wrong, and he notices the counter, the cash drawer was open, and he notices the currency, the bills over there, the notes over there. Of course, the money was old style bills, half again as big as the money we use nowadays and different looking. And then he realizes that yes, in 1894 the currency, the money were old bills, and they were a big size, the huge size, the double the size of the present day money of the 19th century, and they looked different. I turned away and got out fast, and he realized that he should need to leave, and he goes from there. There's nothing nice about jail even in 1894. Obviously, if the ticket collector is going to hold him and put him in jail, so jail is not a good idea, whether 19th century or 18. It's a very bad and a poor idea. So he thought it would be better, I'll leave, and he leaves from there. And that was that. And that was the experience that he had at the third level of the Grand Central Station. I left the same way I came, I suppose. So he says, I probably left the same way through which I came to, the same corridors I picked up to go to leave that place. Next day, during lunch hour, I drew $300 out of the bank, nearly all we had, and brought old style currency that really worried my psychiatrist friend. So he says that the next day, the first thing I did was go to bank, collect all the money I had, all the saving I had, that is $300, and then change that amount of money into a old style bills, into an old style currency notes, that is 18th century. And now when he relates the same to his psychiatrist friend, the friend was real worried about Charlie. You can buy old money at almost any coin dealers, but you have to pay a premium. So he says that it was easy to change the currency. The present note can be changed into the old money, old currency, but it is just that you have to pay a little extra. my $300 bought less than 200s in old style bills. So it was easy to collect, but then it was less than. When he exchanged the $300, he in return he got the old currency, but they were less in number. It was not 200 also. But I didn't care. But then he was not worried. Eggs were 13 cents a dozen in 1894 because he realized that eggs were cheaper at that period of time and things would be cheaper, easily to get. It would be easy to get things. So he was not worried about the loss that he had in changing the currency. But I have never again found the corridor that leads to the third level at Grand Central Station, although I have tried often enough. Now, with this old currency, he goes to Grand Central Station. He tries to find out the third level to that Grand Central Station many a times, but he couldn't get that corridor. He couldn't get the third level, and he has tried often enough. Louisa was pretty worried when I told her all this and didn't want me to look for the third level anymore. So he tells Louisa about things that what he has experienced, how he got the money exchange, how he's looking for the third level so that both he and his wife can go to Galesbury. Then wife said not to look for third level. She got worried about husband. And after a while I stopped. So even Charlie gave up. He gave up that might be I was wrong, and he stopped looking for the third level. I went to my stamps. So he started involving himself in stamp collection. But now we are both looking every weekend because now we have proof that the third level is still there. So he says, but now we both are looking, that is he and his wife both are looking for third level. Why we are looking for third level? Because we have a proof that it does exist in the present world 19th century. Why he says so? What proof he has? He says, my friend Sam Weiner disappeared. Nobody knew where, but I sort of suspected because Sam's a city boy and I used to tell him about Galesburg. I went to school there and he always said he liked the sound of the place and that's where he is all right in 1894. Now he tells us that why he believes that the third level exists because his friend Sam Weiner has disappeared. This Sam Weiner is same Sam that is his psychiatrist friend. And he says that I sort of suspected Sam's a city boy. Now I can't think of Sam going to Galesburg in 18th century. Why? Because he loves being in city. He's a city person. And I used to tell him about Galesburg. I went to school. So many a time Charlie has related his childhood stories about his school days, that how he used to go in his school days in how he was in Galesburg in his school days, how he spent that time. And he always said he liked the sound of the place. So whenever Charlie used to narrate stories regarding Galesburg, about his childhood schooling and things, then Sam used to love listening to him. He used to eagerly listen to all these stories regarding Galesburg and the idea that this is a place of full of peace and contentment and security. So he liked to listen to Charlie when he talked of Galesburg. And that's where he is all right in 1894. And Charlie tells its reader that Sam Weiner has disappeared from the present world 19th century and has gone to the third level in 1894. And I know that he is well, he's good, he's fine. Now why he tells us he's fine, he's good, why? What proof we have? He says, because one night fussing with my stamp collection, I found, well, do you know what a first day cover is? So he says, one day I was fussing about my stamp collection. He was into stamp collection. He was looking at things and other things and all. So then he questions his readers, do you know what first day cover is? Now he tells us what exactly is first day cover. He says, when a new stamp is issued, stamp collectors buy some and use them to mail envelopes to themselves on the very first day of sale, and the postmark proves the date. The envelope is called a first day cover. They are never opened, you just put blank paper in the envelope. Now, students, you all know that all countries issue new stamps from time to time. When a new stamp is issued, stamp collectors buy some and use them to mail envelopes to themselves. That is, stamp is issued, stamp collectors, those who are into collecting stamps, they buy some of them and then they mail themselves those envelopes to themselves on the very first day of sale. On the very first day when the stamp is issued, on that very first day of sale of the stamps, they mail those envelopes to themselves on their address. They just put a blank paper in the envelope, and in the envelope they place a blank paper. Such envelopes are never opened. The idea is not to open the envelope, and because it's blank, it's of no use. The postmark proves the date of issue. The idea is what? When they are going to mail those envelopes at their own address to themselves, the postmark would come, the seal would come from the post office. That seal would be an indication that on this date, the date of issue of that stamp would be there. The envelope is called a first day cover, and this is what called as first day cover. That night, among my oldest first day covers, I found one that shouldn't have been there. Now he says that as he was fussing about stamps and things, and he's telling us he wants to take readers into confidence that he has been to third level, and he's giving us a proof that how he has been to third level and how now his friend Sam is also at third level. So he says that when he was fussing about the stamps and thing, he saw that among my oldest first day covers, he saw one of the first day covers. I found one that shouldn't have been there. He found that it should not have been there. But there it was. It was there. It was there because someone had mailed it to my grandfather at his home to Galesburg. Now he says what? He found first day cover that was mailed to Charlie's grandfather, that is his grandfather, at the address of Galesburg. That's what the address on the envelope said. And it had been there since July 18, 1894. The postmark showed it, yet I didn't remember it at all. Now when he goes through this envelope, he says that the postmark, the seal on the envelope was of date was July 18, 1894. And he says that it was a period of time then when grandfather was into collecting stamps and all. And yet I didn't remember it all, but then he says I didn't took notice such an envelope was there. The stamp was a 6-cent dull brown with a picture of President Garfield. Now he tells us that on the envelope that he received, on that envelope there was a stamp. This stamp was of 6 cents. The stamp was in dull brown color and the stamp was of President Garfield. Now I wonder how many of you can understand stamp collection, because many people are into collecting things. It would be easier for them to understand things. Naturally, when the envelope came to Granddad in the mail, it went right into his collection and stayed there till I looked it out and opened it. Now he says that this envelope that he got, this envelope was mailed to his grandfather. He did not open it because the idea was that there would be a blank paper in it. And today when he was fussing about the stamps and things and envelopes, he got it. This had been in this collection from 1894 and this envelope was there, and today he got it and opened it to see what's there. The paper inside wasn't blank, it read. So it says that it was not a blank paper, it had a letter in it. What's the letter? Sender's address, it says 941 Willard Street, Galesburg, Noi, July 18, 1894. This is the sender's address along with the date. Charlie. So the letter is addressed to Charlie. That is the present Charlie of 19th century, according to the chapter. I got to wishing that you were right. Then I got to believing you were right. And Charlie, it's true. So the letter states, I wish that whatever the story you are narrating about third level is a true story. Then I got to believing you were right. Then when I experienced one, I believed that you were right and you were not creating stories. And Charlie, it's true. You were true that there is a third level. I found the third level. I have been here 2 weeks, and right now down the street at the Dales, someone is playing a piano and they're all out on the front porch singing Sing Nelly Home. So this person, that is Sam, who has written this letter to Charlie, and he had written this letter from Galesburg from 18th century, he writes to Charlie that you are true and the third level does exist. Sam has been there at Galesburg, Illinois from last 2 weeks, and he says that I am sitting here in the streets of Dales, and over here somebody is playing a piano and people are out there in their porches and they are singing Sing Nelly Home. And I'm invited over for lemonade, and he says that the neighborhood has invited him for a lemonade. Come on back, Charlie and Louisa. Keep looking till you find the third level. It's worth it, believe me. The note is signed Sam. So this letter has come up to Charlie. This letter has come from Galesburg 1894 to Charlie's grandfather 1894 and had been there from ages, and he says that he invites Charlie to come back to third level and not to stop looking because the third level exists and it's worth, that is being at Galesburg is worth. At the stamp and coin store I go to, I found out that Sam brought $800 worth of old style currency. So it says that the stamp and coin store where I go to exchange the currency, I found it from there that Sam Wiener, his psychiatrist friend, had got $800 old currency notes that ought to set him in a nice little hay, feed and grain business. So he says that he has got so much amount of money, he got it exchanged into the old currency notes, and he can easily start with a new business of hay and feed and grain. Feed, that is food for animals. He always said that's what he really wished he could do, and he certainly can't go back to his old business. So Sam might have conveyed at certain point of their interactions with each other that this is the business that he would love to start, about hay and feed and grain business, and this is what he wanted to do, and this is what he has started in Galesburg in 1894. And he says, and he certainly can't go back to his old business. So he can't go back to old businesses, that is a psychiatrist. Not in Galesburg, Illinois in 1894, his old business. That is, Sam as a psychiatrist is not required in 1894. Why? Because the people were happy, there was peace reigning, there was harmony, there was no war, there was security. So psychiatrists have no role to play in that period of time because they were happy people, there was security and happiness and no worries, not afraid of any wars or any insecurities. So he had started his business of hay, feed and grain. Why? Sam was my psychiatrist. And then this author Jack Finney leaves this lesson to a mysterious note that Sam is psychiatrist friend of Charlie. Now students, common man wants to escape from the harsh realities of life. It is very difficult to come to terms with the unpleasant struggles and problems of the present life. Past and future both are illusion. The only reality is present.